building a connected community of entrepreneurs. This is Business Rockstars.
Ambition, well, that's the steam that drives people forward on the road to success. The only engine under full steam can make it up the hill. Ken Rakowski, Business Rockstars, here to help you start, grow, and fund that passion to something real and sustainable by giving you the tools, which are the people that have done it themselves. Find out what's going on in the studio right now by going to businessrockstars.com. And of course, we're here to connect you with everything entrepreneur. That website, businessrockstars.com. The guy sitting here has really helped a lot of things happen on that website. Lloyd Marino is joining us. Lloyd, you are do we call you a technologist or a realist?
Yeah, tech strategist.
I say a realist because you're there to go, yeah, that's not going to work.
That's not going to work. Right. Or if you're my PR guy, you call me the tech whisperer. That's what we got going on.
You have an audacious, and I don't want to call it a job because a job pays you a lot of money. And at times, people see you as a commodity.
Absolutely.
You right? Because
Yep.
This is what happens. Let me tell you what happens before they call you in. People get online, they go to YouTube, and they go, oh, I could fix this. And then they try to fix it, and they mess it up even more.
Absolutely.
And then they call you up, and you go, you know what? I could have fixed it really easy if you would have called me before you went to YouTube. But now it's going to cost even more. And this is what they do. They go, you know what? I'll give you a call maybe next week because they try to fix it even more, and they mess it up even more. And then they call you, and it's like triage surgery when they call you in.
Absolutely.
And unfortunately, you're a nice guy. You should charge them $1 million, and you charge them only $500,000. Okay, am I right?
I wish. Yeah, I wish. I wish it was $500,000.
But the office world and technology, it's changing so fast, and in most cases, people are not upgrading and updating to the current times.
And sometimes you don't have to.
No?
Yeah.
Give me an example.
So a good business leader, I think, really takes a look at his technology within his organization. And just to be quite frank, most don't. Most throw up their hands and they say, you know what, I hired somebody to do that. I have a whole technology staff to do that. But that staff is looking to do their own thing. Right. They want to be on the latest and greatest things because they want to be able to learn these new things.
So when they leave,
right, they build a resume. Absolutely. Absolutely. So what's wrong with what they had? If it isn't broke, don't fix it. But you're talking about upsetting an ecosystem, right? If you really look at a business and you look at how a business works, especially an enterprise, small business is a little different. But on an enterprise level, that's an entire ecosystem from the beginning of when you actually do cold calls to when you actually deliver a product. The technology's got to be kind of streamlined all the way through.
Agree.
One portion of that ecosystem is messed up. You got a bit of a problem. You're not going to realize the best bottom line you could realize.
But do you have to upgrade constantly to make sure that ecosystem's consistent?
Just depends on the product you're using, right?
Okay.
So, there are suites for all this stuff, right? Microsoft's a great ecosystem for business. I'm not saying it's the best ecosystem. It just really depends on your...
Slow down.
Yeah.
Let's talk about small business.
Small business, okay.
4 or 5 people, okay?
Yeah.
Do I need the latest and greatest from Microsoft?
Absolutely not.
Could I use, because in most cases, we're not even using 50% of all the Microsoft assets inside Microsoft,
That's right. Absolutely. In anyone, it doesn't have to be Microsoft, but in any application or any product.
But I want to stick with Microsoft for a second.
Okay.
If you walk in my office and you see that I'm still on Windows XP, is your head going to explode? Or can you say, hey, you know what? Seems like things are working. It's okay.
It really just depends. So there's a balance to all this stuff. So XP, of course, is an old operating system and it has some vulnerabilities in it,
Huge.
Right? Yeah.
You have like viruses.
Absolutely.
And, right, it's attacked constantly.
Absolutely. But if you have a line of business application that depends on it,
there's a different story.
And it's going to cost you a fortune to rewrite it. That's a different story. What's the balance?
So hiring someone like you, someone that's sitting right now in New Hampshire or in Florida, and they go, all right, are we okay, even though we have an older operating system, but our Peachtree software only runs on this. I'm using something, or Quattro
right.
Pro. You laugh. I'm just going to let you know, I have uncles that still are running that stuff.
Boy Scouts of America was on DOS up until a year ago. Absolutely, yeah.
Okay, so there has to be you have a proprietary software that either you have to get rewritten, someone like you walks in there and shows you where the balance of realism is.
Yes.
And the real cost of migrating to whatever the new path is.
Yes.
How often should we assess what's happening in our office?
I would say at least once every 3 to 5 years.
Oh, that long?
Yeah.
That's a longer space than I thought.
Yeah.
And we're not just talking about software. We're talking about hardware too.
Yes. Yeah. We're talking about hardware as well.
Because a printer 3 or 4 years ago could actually be a very inefficient product.
That's right.
If that's that old. We don't even talk about printers
No,
anymore.
some of this stuff has shelf life of like 2 years, right? But if you're making a huge investment, you want to squeeze as much out of that investment as you
Okay, so
possibly can.
3 things we should look at in our small office, 3 to 5 people, that we should reassess every 3 to 5 years, or really 2 to 3 years. What are those 3 things we should always reassess?
Depends on your growth, number one, but the first thing that comes top of mind is security, especially in a small office. You're a business leader, right? You go home at night, you lock your doors. You teach your kids not to take candy from strangers, but yet you'll allow stuff like a USB drive into your business.
Is that bad?
Where'd it come from? If I left a USB stick right here on this table, or let's say in the kitchen over here, and I wrote something on it, maybe compelling for you to want to plug it in.
Yeah.
How much you want to bet someone's going to plug that thing in?
If it says, plug this in and get free candy, I will plug it in.
You plug it in,
Yeah.
boom, and I'm in your computer like that.
Wow. Okay, so security, number 1. Number 2.
Security. I still think security is big. So
You're going to go back with security again.
I'm going to go with networks, for example. Okay, wireless networking. Okay.
Not secure?
Could be. But how many of your employees do you allow to use your business wireless network with their own devices?
Well, I don't even have security on it. So just go in and it's open. Bad news?
It's bad news. That's huge.
So put some passwords on there.
I mean, from a very practical perspective, how do you protect this business you're trying to build? Right?
Okay. Number 3. One more.
Number 3, one more. I think the idea of like Dropbox and Google Drives.
So cloud-based storage.
It's fantastic. But make sure you own it as a business.
In what sense?
Well, if your employees open those drives up in their name and use their Google.
That's important.
Right.
Make sure it's under your business email
right.
accounts. It's your employees that are using your name, not their own third party. That's a good one. I like that. Lloyd, people want to find out more about you. Where do they go?
LloydMarino.com.
What's happening there? What do you teach them?
Got a whole platform that we're building up. I've got 2 books that I've authored, trying to get published. So,
going to get published.
Going to get
Don't
published.
say trying.
Absolutely. No.
God, phraseology. Just modify that. And you're calling yourself the tech whisperer. I appreciate hanging out with us.
Hey, thanks, Ken.
A
Appreciate
lot
it.
more happening. Make sure you don't go away. This is Business Rockstars, connecting you to everything entrepreneur. I'll be right back.